So, since the first time since February, I am happy and proud to announce NFL football is back with us. The 2024 season kicks off tonight between my beloved Baltimore Ravens and the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome once again to the Third and Long podcast. My name is, of course, the incomparable Shane Harris. Above me is Oliver Butler Henderson. To my right is a teacher extraordinaire, Mr. Philip Perrins. And in the top corner is my old buddy, Baby Hope. Gentlemen, one at a time, please. I'll start with OBH. How pumped are you that the season begins again?
You know that meme with the baby where you go, yeah? Yeah, that's how I feel.
We got a baby that does that as well.
So we're on half an hour later and parents are still eating.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that.
I'm glad you said you're happy, Shane, because I think in about 7 hours' time you won't be as happy.
It's cautious optimism. That's what it is. I watched as many shows as I could. Good Morning Football, all the YouTube stuff, the insiders, everything, and they're basically leaning either side. So I think it's going to be a case of we'll see what happens at 4 o'clock, 4 a.m. UK time. Hopefully, I'll be happy going to bed. Probably won't be, right?
I'm going to be unhappy watching the Chiefs face that Super Bowl banner.
Sick. So how's my old boy Mr. P? How's things, bud?
So throughout the whole day, I've kind of been like, the NFL season starts tonight, and we're just talking, and then my year 11s, who I was the head of year of, so it's that group where that used to hear me every single week talk about the 49ers, and one of them, Leon, he became a Raven fan. So if you listen tonight, Leon, good lad. And he was like saying, "Oh, sir, I've just realised NFL season starts tonight. Do you think the Chiefs will win?" And we both laughed at that question, like a rhetorical question. I think the league should collude to make sure that the Chiefs should not win again. And I'm not talking about Roger Goodell, because Roger Goodell is minus chode, but I'm talking about the other 31 teams in the NFL should secretly collude to make sure that the Chiefs secretly, what time is it, should be fucked over this season.
Woohoo! We can say things like that now. Yes.
Woohoo!
Post watershed.
After dark.
Post watershed, we can literally do what we want. This is like the Joe Rogan experience.
I would say, how's your week's been and everything else, but we've had a shorter week this week, and we will have short weeks, 2 shows a week until February or late January, or whenever we decide to change our minds, basically.
Before we do the news, can you talk about your second overall pick?
Roger Rosengarten. Oh, my second overall pick. Oh, what do you mean? Do you mean my first pick of the draft?
Yes.
Boys, everyone saw it live, right? And I mentioned it on Baldy and the Big Fella show when I recorded with them 2 nights ago, which is out at the moment, by the way. What a wonderful, wonderful pair of blokes. Can't wait to see them in London. Yes, of course. As I've said, and I'll say it again, I'm not apologizing for it. It was not a mistake. It was done on purpose. Minshew Mania will indeed run wild, brother, in Las Vegas this season. Let me tell you something, dude.
Except you probably could have got something about the 8th or 9th round.
But I will say something else. I'm glad I got Joe Burrow as my second option.
It was a bigger reach than Trey Lance by the Niners.
Trey Lance is good, but just not for you.
Yeah, to be fair, we did think when we drafted him that he was going to be our equivalent to Patrick Mahomes. Obviously, things did not pay out, but sometimes you got to go through the quagmire to get to the promised land, and which is what we did.
Through the quagmire?
The quagmire.
Nice. Giggity.
What? Through the sexual interlude that of Glenn Quagmire from Family Guy?
No, but the term quagmire is basically just kind of like a heap of just absolute crud and muck and just rubbish. That's literally his name. His literal name is.
Oh, okay. You learn something new every day, ladies and gentlemen.
Go through the quagmire is a saying.
Yeah,
it is. Yes.
I've never ever heard that before.
Because that's why
it's relatively new. It came out in the 80s, so you probably wouldn't know.
Yeah, we're not all as old as you, Shane.
You're older than me, you daft.
I was going to say that.
So, shall we roll on with the news in 60, OBH?
Yeah, there's a little bit of news to cover this week.
This is the news in 60.
So it's been an eventful week in San Francisco. We're going to start with the shocking news that happened on Saturday night, where rookie wide receiver Ricky Pearsall got shot twice following a robbery. What happened while he was, or after he'd done a signing event. Luckily, both the bullets missed all vital organs. The one bullet exited his back. He got released from hospital on Sunday night. He could be back playing in 5 weeks' time. So we are so lucky that that bullet wasn't 2 or 3 inches left or right, up or down, because we could have lost someone without even getting any further. Such a young life, and it goes again where, oh yeah, it's fine, USA, just your second run, it's brilliant, yeah, all can bear up, but come on, grow some bollocks about it. Right, anyway. Carry on with San Francisco. The 2 big holdout players, Brandon Ayuk and Trent Williams, have signed their contracts. Trent Williams did his Tuesday. It's a rework deal. It's worth up to $82.66 million over the 3 years. It's a massive. I'll let the boys talk about the San Francisco bits in a bit. Brandon Ayuk's got a new contract, 4 years, $120 million with 76 guaranteed. In guarantees, obviously, it's been an incredibly stressful week for them. More contracts. The head coach of the Miami Dolphins, Mike McDaniel, has signed a multi-year deal. They haven't disclosed any details. All they say is a multi-year deal. Okay, cheers. The best name in football, Chargers kicker Cameron Dicker, the kicker, is now the 5th highest kicker in the league. His new deal is worth $22.004 million over the 4 years. Don't get the 004. The Steelers extended their standout defensive tackle Cam Hayward to a 3-year deal worth $45 million. Do you want some more deals? Okay, then. The Broncos have extended outstanding, probably one of the best corners in the league, Pat Surtain, to a 4-year deal.
In my opinion, the best corner in the league.
I'm going to say one of, but we'll have that discussion at later on. A new 4-year deal worth $96 million, which included 77.5 in guarantees. This is making him the highest defensive back in the league ever. Not currently.
The highest paid, perhaps.
Yeah. And the last one is it's another big man, O-line from Washington. They've extended guard Sam Cosmi to a 4-year deal worth $74 million. Whew. And finally, the Cleveland Browns have changed the name of the stadium to after agreeing a deal with Ohio's very own Huntington Bank. The deal is set to last over 20 years. And as Shane Starr said at the start of the show, we are after 245 days. Following last time we heard Scott Hanson's wonderful voice, we have all 18 teams competing this weekend.
You mean 32 teams?
Well, I said 18, didn't I? All
18 games, isn't it?
All 32
Right.
teams competing for 18 weeks. It's been a long week.
I've got a quiz question for you 3.
Okay.
Go on then.
Who
And that
is
was
the only current player that is now holding out in the NFL, and which team is it for?
Oh, I know this.
Jamar Chase for
No, Jamar Chase is practicing.
Yeah,
is he practicing? Yeah, oh yeah, I saw something that was limited or something like that.
But he reported to training camp, so it's not a holdout, it's a hold in.
Oh, who's holding out then?
Oh,
I don't know. Who is it?
Come on, baby.
It is Hassan Reddick for the New York Jets. So, you know.
Oh, of course it is. I saw that this morning.
If he wants to take the week off, he's earned it. He can come back on Tuesday.
No. Let's hope he plays Monday. And he eats our Brock Purdy block alive. That'd be nice.
I mean, he's the guy that injured Brock Purdy for the Eagles.
Yeah, it was.
NFC Championship game.
Yeah.
So take the week off. You've earned it, mate. Get your bag. Come back on Tuesday.
Gentlemen, take us through the events. What's been an incredibly eventful week for your organization?
Phil, I'll let you start.
Pressure creates diamonds. That's nice. Literally the thing I'm taking out of this. I mean, it's not been an ideal situation in the Bay. Grant Cohn who is a source of ridicule for 49er fan base. He is a beat reporter. His dad famously was the exact same in like the 80s and the 90s as well. So it's almost like a nepotism kind of role. And he had reported that after like the Ricky Pearsall kind of thing, Jed York had summoned essentially Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch and kind of like given them a rollicking of, why am I spending so much money this off season when I've spent so much money in the past couple of years in the off season as well? Why wasn't this sorted out way back in earlier in the year? And not, you know, as soon as that kind of hit, this kind of like agreement then of like Trent Williams and Brandon Ayuk kind of like almost like neutered itself, where it came to a decision very, very quickly. But I think the Ricky Pearsall things had like a massive knock-on effect in terms of like how Trent and Brandon just came back into like the organization, because as I was saying to you guys the weekend when it got reported, Ricky was at a signing and it looked like that the person that had attacked him had followed him. Yeah. And almost like, you know, followed him, stalked him, approached him. And, you know, when Ricky didn't necessarily want to hand over, you know, his possessions to, you know, the armed robber, he got shot. And then he managed to walk away, or walked like a public area where he then was managed to get some help. So like not just getting shot multiple times and having a bullet pass through his body, he kind of then walked to try and then get help. He wasn't just lying on the floor.
The attack happened in a public area.
No, but then he then walked to a more public area.
I saw he walked to the ambulance.
No, I heard that he walked until he could actually get help.
I've seen the video of him walking to the ambulance, but I didn't know he walked to get help.
Yeah.
The thing that you didn't mention in that news is that the 49ers have restructured Deebo Samuel's contract to free up $15 million of cap space, which I think
it's about 16.5 million that it's freed up.
So I think that facilitated the Trent Williams deal.
Yeah.
But isn't Trent Williams heavily front-loaded? Well, both the deals front-loaded.
He is the highest paid player on the roster, period, for like the 49ers. Like, we went over the salary cap in the off season, and where we looked at like the breakdowns, and that included like Nick Bosa this year as well. Trent is our most expensive asset in the organization. So I think the 49ers, and I don't know if you agree with this as well, baby, it went from a must-win season to we have to win now. We've invested so much. We're trying to keep this team together, because if you think about like in the offseason, we haven't really added more star power. We've managed to just keep our stars, if that makes sense. Like, we've managed to keep our core. Yeah. So it is kind of like, well, I've spent more money to keep this team together. The onus now is on this team to win, because next year it's going to become even more expensive with, say, Brock Purdy's contract up.
I think it was Super Bowl or bust.
Most expensive player in the league.
Yeah, I think it was Super Bowl or bust anyway this year. But I thought Deebo was a top candidate for being traded next year. But I'm wondering if this restructured deal maybe changes that. That's my thing. But
I did think, because what I think someone like Brandon Ayuk is the only wide receiver on our offense that can stretch a field.
Yeah.
While we've got so many great players of like 10 to 15 yard dinks, and then they run. Like, we've got some great, powerful runners. Like, Debo's a great runner. Kittle's a great runner. Juwan is a great runner. Christian McCaffrey's a great runner. Juice is a great runner. Cowley's going to look like he's very similar to that ilk as well. We haven't got a lot of players that can stretch that field. And that mostly is just Kyle Shanahan's offensive playbook. So I think now that we've got both on the team, I think if one's likely to be traded than the other, I still think Deebo could still be up for the top, you know, baby.
Shano.
You mentioned not needing to add players to the team. As much as it irks me to say this, and you all know it really, really hurts my soul to say this, the Niners are like Liverpool. They don't need to add to the team because they're as good as they are. You know what? Like you said, they are pretty much in win now mode because all the pieces are in place. But this is it now, as you said. If they don't win it this year, it's going to cost a lot more to keep and retain the players that could potentially end up in free agency next year.
And it's not just that; it's also age. We've got a lot of players
Yeah.
that are really creeping up there, that are well over the magic 30 number, that are going to become expensive players. I mean, I've gone back and watched the highlights from the Super Bowl, baby. I don't know if you have, but in that Super Bowl,
You've tormented yourself.
I did.
I couldn't watch the AFC Championship game earlier on. I almost cried.
Only because, like, going into it, I wanted to be subjective. Like, where did it actually go wrong for us? Because ultimately, the Super Bowl went into overtime, and we were leading, and then we're drawing. Then we're leading, then we're drawing. Then we're leading in overtime, and then we gave Patrick Mahomes the ball, and then he scored. And the game really changed when D went off. Yeah, like when Greenlaw came off.
Yeah.
So we were very much massively on top, and it was just that one injury that went down. I mean, if Moody doesn't miss the field goal, do we win the Super Bowl in regular time? Yes, we do. So it's these fine. We talk about, like, in any given sort of these fine margins where winning and losing, because we got so close, and we have the tools. We were just unlucky because it was one super team going up against another super team. That's
So
it's like the Clash of the Titans.
Is Nick Mason having a conversation with himself? Because Nick Mason has said, "I smell a win, folks," and then
Yes, me too.
Somebody with the same profile picture has then said, "winning."
Boys, I attract all the flock to the podcast.
Always. So I think he's having a conversation with himself here. So I'm guessing.
Boys, I attract all the flock to the podcast, boys. They all know about this.
But just going back to the Super Bowl for 1 second.
Yeah, of course.
A lot of pundits say, "Oh, why did the Niners choose to receive in overtime?" I actually really like that, because I think it's a really aggressive of, we're going to go and score a touchdown, then you need to do the same.
Yeah, you have to keep up with us. Yeah, I like that.
It's the change of the rules, isn't it? Now that allows to go. Oh, it doesn't matter if you receive but whatever. Yeah,
but I really like that. I really like the idea of, we'll receive, we're going to go score a touchdown, then it's up to you.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of people are criticizing the Niners for choosing to receive the ball. I mean, they've admitted they didn't know the rules had changed. So what he said is, "I realized I first come from Facebook, but that's the inferior social media platform." Well, I think that's a matter of opinion. I'm not going to state anything on this.
No, I'm not saying anything either. Right. Ricky Pearsall. He was your first round pick.
Yep.
He looked like he was going to be a player. He looked like he was going to be key to your part of your offense this year. Now he's going to be out for 4 or 5 weeks minimum, because he's on IR now. But that's not what I want to talk about. The fact is, yes, this guy was incredibly lucky to keep his life.
Yeah.
I think myself and Baby and Tom and even you guys in the past have spoken how many times of the law in America is broken regarding their gun law. The fact that, yes, you could bear arms, yes, you can do this, but the fact that you've got people going out and buying semi-automatic rifles.
I mean, you just need to look at the news yesterday of what happened in Georgia.
What, the DC, yeah.
The school shooting, yeah.
Yeah, it's ridiculous nowadays. And Obama said, nearly 15 years ago now, look, we need to look at this. This needs to change. But unfortunately, it was the end of his second term, so nothing was going to happen. Donald Trump was never going to change it. Donald Trump was never, ever going to change it. Joe Biden hasn't got the power, wasn't powerful enough to change it. And I can't see it changing again, because there are too many powerful people outside of the American government that control that government. We hear about all these rallies and all that, and how these benefactors put so much money into these governments that it's never going to change. What's it going to take? Another president's assassin? I mean, we almost had a candidate 2 or 3 months ago, literally was millimeters away from being assassinated.
There's been 2 presidents who were assassinated whilst in office. Ronald Reagan famously had his one, kind of like, well, he did get shot, but he didn't kill him. And obviously, you had Donald Trump and his assassination as well. So I don't even think something like that, because you've kind of like always in America, from not just from like JFK, but also Bobby Kennedy as well. Like he was assassinated. And I just think it's I mean, we love American football. We love the NFL. We love many, many, many aspects to American culture. I mean, we just do. But the whole gun, issues that they have there, I don't even know what would change it. Like, genuinely, like, we've had politicians assassinated, we've had royal family members being shot at, we've had celebrities being shot at, we've had sports stars being shot at. John Kennedy was assassinated outside schools. I'm going to say, I haven't even got to schools yet about school shooting. We have to now in the UK have lockdown procedures for just in case something like that happens. And we've had it in our country as well. It was a couple of months ago that happened in Wales, where there was a school shooting.
Noah's school before he went, my eldest school before he went up there. There was like not a shooting, but a stabbing. They had this lockdown procedure go in.
Yeah, and
it shouldn't be like this.
Yeah, and so it's kind of like seeping into culture around the world. So I don't know. But then you've also got like certain. Who was the NFL player? I think who played for the Raiders. He's not on the roster anymore. And he was like famously on TikTok, like holding like his AK-47 up. And like holding it to the camera and threatening to shoot somebody. Like, he's not on the roster.
I know an NBA player did that, but I can't remember an NFL player.
He played for the Raiders. They released him this year.
I know exactly what you mean. I can't think of his name.
Yeah, I can't. So I mean, if you do know, comment section, please let us know. But yeah. So it's I don't know. It's a weird culture thing, and I think I think there's very much you can get so much more deeper in the quagmire that is the gun control issues in America.
Yeah.
Is that like your word of the day, Phil?
Word of the day
out.
Quagmire. I have been using words like aura. I have said that I am he. I've been just kind of like.
Did you say I am he?
I am he. Of course
you did.
I am he.
I suppose you've got a t-shirt with that on the back.
I am he. I'm waiting for somebody to turn around and say, "Yo, you know what, sir? You're him." I'm like, yeah, that would be life goal. That would have kept me singing in front of the whole school, doing a concert, getting great GCSE results. Like, that would be peak life if just one snotty-nosed kid just went, "You know what, Mr. Parents? You're him." I'd be like, I'm retiring now.
You call him snot-nosed, ain't gonna help.
Yeah.
I do have a t-shirt which says on the back, "I'm surrounded by idiots."
Without the school, Tiago goes down.
I was going to say.
Right. Let's move on.
We're getting off topic. Come on, let's get back on topic.
Let's move on to probably the biggest deal of the non-49ers week. The Broncos outstanding corner Pat Surtain with that massive 4-year deal. You say he's the best, Ollie. I say he's one of the best. Who would you say? Who else is up there in your mind?
I told you, I think Pat Surtain is the best.
He did.
People who are potentially up there. Jalen Johnson from the Bears.
Yeah.
Thank you.
This might be a bit Niners related, but Javarius Ward.
Yeah, I was going to say Chav.
Jay Alexander.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Jalen Ramsey. He's still
Denzel
out there in
Ward.
Miami getting stuff done.
Denzel Ward.
Yes.
Darius Slay had a down year, but I still think he's good.
Sauce.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you didn't say Sauce first.
Ollie, I'm not going to say Carol Duggar, so don't hold on hope for that.
He's not called. He's a safety, so we're okay on that one, mate. I mean,
that's probably
Christian Gonzalez.
No, Gonzo's not showing me enough yet.
He's only played 4 weeks because of his injury.
Yeah, that's true.
He's not him.
Stop saying that.
Shows a lot, though. It shows a lot, doesn't it? Because there was heavy rumors that he was getting traded last season.
Yeah, I was banging the table for the Niners to go and get him.
Yeah, exactly. And now they've made him the highest paid, so it shows it. And on the same day, he was made captain as well by the Broncos.
Also, can we just while we're talking about captains, did you guys see the Jets have 6 captains and the only
Most
one
teams
on
have 6 captains.
The only one on offense is Aaron Rodgers.
Do you know who the Broncos captain is? one of the offensive captains. Do you know who that is?
Yeah, Bo Nix.
Bo Nix. What? You haven't played it out. You haven't played organised down yet.
Yeah. So's Caleb Williams.
That's bonkers.
I just think it's funny the Jets have 6 captains and the only one on offense is Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers.
It's ridiculous, isn't it? And and it's why we're keeping the captains. It's the first time since 2014 that the Patriots will have a C on the badge for the captain on the jersey for the captains.
What's
Why
that?
don't they usually?
Because Belichick didn't like it.
Oh,
no.
Belichick can just
Okay.
do one. He can go back on the Manning cast and the bloody Pat.
Well, he's on
McAfee.
Instagram now, only Belichick. Did you see that?
Yeah, he's on Instagram. What's happening, Nick?
What's up, Nick?
What
Hope
one,
you're good down under in New Zealand.
Definitely. Right. We've been waiting forever for this. It starts in 4 hours, or if you're listening on Friday's podcast, it started 7 hours ago.
1:20 a.m. kickoff. I'll be right alongside with him.
It does start with Shano's Ravens kicking off against the reigning Super Bowl champions, who will be raising the flag. Sorry, Shane. In front of you.
It's all right, but what you should have said was my Baltimore Ravens against Taylor Swift's Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, who got a better voice, me or her? Being Welsh, I don't need a bucket to carry a tune, if you know what I mean.
Shane, I've seen you. I've heard you sing, mate.
That is excellent. I've been called a songbird of my generation.
Yeah, I don't think you're earning 40 million a night for concert like she was though.
Give her that one. You can have that one.
After Thursday Night Football, we have the first ever game in Brazil on a Friday night.
Brazil.
It goes to Sao Paulo, the Corinthians Arena, or Arena of Corinthians, where the Green Bay Packers are taking on Philadelphia Eagles.
Yes.
And then we roll on to Sunday Night Football, where we hear Scott Hansen for the first time in 250 days nearly say those magical words that we all love. Let's go to the Octobox. That's one of them.
I want to do it. 7 hours of commercial-free football starts now. Oh, touch me up.
So we've got the 6 o'clock games is Chicago, Tennessee, New Orleans, Carolina, Pittsburgh, Atlanta, Buffalo, Arizona, Cincinnati against my New England Patriots, Indianapolis Colts, Texans. Then we got Miami Dolphins against the Jacksonville Jaguars, Giants against the Vikings. And then we go to the late games on the Sunday night. Chargers against the Raiders, Seahawks or Sea Chickens, whoever you're talking to, against the Denver Broncos, Cleveland Browns against Dallas Cowboys, Washington are against Tampa. And then the Sunday night football is Detroit against LA. And then obviously Monday night football, which we'll cover more on Monday's show. It is New York against San Francisco.
The New York Jets, just to be clear.
Yeah, I was going to say gangrene, just to be clear.
Green Gang. Yeah. So, I mean, obviously we've got our usual 4 prediction games. Without naming those 4 prediction games, what games are we looking forward to, gentlemen?
I'm excited about Texans Colts.
Yeah. I mean, that's going to be... that was almost put in my prediction game. I won't lie.
Because Richardson's back. Jonathan Taylor's had an off season. Michael Pittman against a very, very good Texans team. CJ Stroud, Tank Dell's back. Can't remember who their running back is, but he's a bit frisky.
Joe Mixon.
And Nico Collins. So I'm excited to see that game.
Yeah, I took Nico Collins by mistake in another draft instead of Tank Dell, but there's like that. 1A, 1B. Shano.
I have a question for you. How many times is Josh Hines Allen gonna sack your boy Tua in Jacksonville versus Miami at Hard Rock Stadium?
Once.
1. Okay. What do you reckon, Mr. P?
Let me try to think. Why? Oh, it's going to be. It's going to have a. I'm going to go 5. No, I'm not. No,
Woohoo! Big day.
I'm going to go 3. I think Dolphins are going to have a pretty okay.
I think Dolphins are going to win that game.
Over or under, is Josh Allen going to throw more interceptions than Josh Allen or Hines Allen going to sack to it?
Okay. I mean, it's against the Cardinals. We shouldn't throw many.
In the games are in the season.
In the game. Yeah, to be fair, that's actually going to be quite a good bet. Who's going to have the most sacks against interceptions. Josh Allen or Josh Hines Allen. That's going to be a good bet. I'm looking to see.
Ollie, usually on this show, me and you make a bet between the 49ers and the New England Patriots.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
But I'm not going to
okay.
offer you that. It's usually for the first 4 weeks. But I'm not going to offer you that this year.
We will be, after your game, we'll be, I want to say 2-1.
However, okay, I would happily take that because I think it'll be 0-4. However, I will talk to you about week 4, where we can make a bet about how many points we're going to beat you by.
How many points you're going to beat us by?
Yeah.
Screw you, you son of a bitch.
Wow. Supporting the Niners is like supporting Bayern Munich or Real Madrid. It's just cheating.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm looking, obviously we've got our prediction games, which we'll go do for in a minute. Who is going to be the lowest scoring team in week 1? If any of you say New England Patriots, you'll get booted.
New England Patriots.
Really? Against that Cincinnati defense?
Yeah, I think he's right,
I do.
All right, how many times is Joe Burrow going to get sacked by the Patriots?
0. You have no pass rush.
0.
It looks like I'm doing the podcast on my own tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
In all serious, I think Patriots, Giants, or Panthers.
No, Panthers are playing the Saints. They're going to score.
Yeah, but the Saints defense is okay.
To my acca, you watch the Panthers beat them.
I was going to say, watch the Panthers beat them. Like,
I don't think the Saints are that good. I think the
I don't
Saints
think
are good team.
I don't think the Saints are that good. I've already said that. I think Spencer Rattler is going to be starting by the end of the season. I've said this.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Yeah, I completely agree with you.
But the Panthers are poor, man.
Yeah, it's really bad. I mean, it's going to be interesting seeing also that Denver offense go against that Seattle defense. Because this new Denver offense, they brought it in to make it easier for Bo Nix, the Oregon style offense with the play actions and all the rollouts and things like that. It suits him game. And they look so much better in the preseason than they did last preseason. In fact, last season, full stop, with this new style of offense in there.
I have to admit, a lot of people have been talking up to Seattle this year, but I'm really not on the Seattle hype train. I don't think Geno Smith's good enough.
no.
We've always said that, though.
It says a lot. I don't know if you've guys noticed. I know, baby, you're in a lot of drafts as well, fancy drafts as well as me. But the Seattle wide receivers are being taken very late this year.
Yeah, because they don't have a quarterback that can throw it.
There is their issue with this one. This is their problem, and this is where I think, that Denver offense is going to outscore them by a lot, despite having such a good secondary in Seattle.
Well, that's somebody else that should have gone in that top level of to equal
Right. I also think there's an interesting game at what's it called now? Huntington Beach Stadium Arena, Dog Pound, whatever you want to call it. I don't know.
Huntington Bank Stadium.
I don't know, some commercial nonsense. Yeah, between Dallas and the Browns. I think that'll be interesting because the Browns have got a very, very good defense. And how much are they going to restrict CD Lamb? When Dak's like bathroom taps, hot and cold.
The problem
and
is
Tom
now,
Brady, and Tom Brady's on the commentating.
Yeah.
Yes, he is. That's right.
The problem is now is Dallas do not have a run team at all. I don't think Zeke. Well, I know for a fact Zeke isn't what he was when he left and when he came to us. Zeke had spells, but you haven't got that explosive Zeke that you had 2-3 years ago that they're hoping they have. They obviously lost Tony Pollard and they brought Zeke in, and they haven't really replaced Tony Pollard in the draft with anyone good, basically.
Yeah.
Ollie, correct me if I'm wrong, but was Brady's first game for the Patriots starting not against Cleveland in Cleveland?
Does that make sense to you at all?
No, it wasn't. I don't think it was.
I thought
I think his first away game was in Cleveland.
Oh, okay. I thought I saw something saying that it was his first game.
Well, I'm sure his first game for starter for Patriots was in Foxborough. But yeah. Let me
Before we move
Google
on,
that. Please fill time,
yeah,
guys.
before we move on, I just need to ask Mr. P a question. Phil, they've had WrestleMania in SoFi, haven't they?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God.
Where they're going to get the return of one of the original, one of the men that headlined the first 9 WrestleManias this coming Sunday. You know for a fact that Minchumania is going to run wild in SoFi when the
Jesus
Raiders
Christ.
take on the Chargers. Come on, boy!
Why is Hulk Hogan suiting up this week? Like, literally,
I know you're back in school.
why
Like,
is Hulk
you know, come
Hogan?
on, switch on.
Hogan. Oh.
Have they announced where WrestleMania is next year?
Yes.
Yes.
Where?
Right.
Vegas. Allegiant Stadium. Home
Tom
of
Brady.
Minchumania. Oh, my God.
Right. You've already given your idea. Right. It started a rivalry between two franchises. So who was Tom Brady's first start and win against?
Buffalo?
Oh, I figured it.
Hold on.
Go on, then, baby.
Denver.
No.
Is it Indy?
It is Indianapolis.
Ooh. And he beat Peyton.
All I've got on here, he played his first start and win was against Indianapolis.
Do you remember that period of time where in literally the biggest game in the NFL was any time Peyton would take on Tom? That was sick.
Yeah.
God,
And it was always
In New
like,
England.
9 times out of 10 was always the playoffs.
John Sears said Coach Mike McDonald will be the reason the Seahawks turn the franchise around. He's brilliant and a former Ravens. And then he said, Dallas will be Dallas.
Done.
Jerry's, yep.
Done. What you talking about, Willis? Like he's
clever.
The Seahawks. The Seahawks are going to go back to their island of irrelevancy. They are literally nothing. Nothing.
Right. Obviously, we've got the 4 big games. I'm going to let you talk. I'm going to give you 2 or 3 minutes to talk about your game on Monday night because obviously, when we drop the podcast after Monday's show, it's going to be Tuesday morning. It's your game with a play. So, talk about your game very briefly because we'll go in more depth on Monday night.
The Aaron Rodgers revenge tour will be ended in week 1. That's all I'm going to say.
I was going to say, Jesus Christ.
Lex Express is going to crash
Is it going to last
again.
more than 4 plays?
What'd you say, sorry?
Is it going to last more than 4 plays?
I think it is. I think he's going to finish the game. I just think he's not going to do much.
Do you know that?
I've had this conversation with someone today at work. That I could see Aaron Rodgers doing the same way as Breeze, Rivers, Roethlisberger, where he just, there's week 8, and then suddenly there's a cliff. Or maybe even week 10, he's just literally going to have, the wheels are going to fall off his wagon, and he's not going to throw it anymore. I could just see that happening.
He should have retired at the end of last season, but the $70 million he was guaranteed this season kept him for 1 more season.
Yeah, pretty much. It's madness. Absolutely madness. Right, Shayna, we've had enough of them lot talking about. You boys kick off the season tonight in the AFC Conference rematch. Take us through it, my friend.
I've been waiting for this since the final whistle of the AFC Championship game. Since the second Snead punched that ball out of Zay's hands. Everyone knows if Snead didn't do that, we would have got the big dance, if not won it all, right? And I will stand. I'll stand on that hill, and I will die on it too, right?
We don't know that.
That's all done now. The smoke is clear. The dust is settled. That's all done, right? Chiefs won last year. They're going for a Chief Pete this year. If you know what that means, if you watch GMFB, you would get it. But hopefully there will be a bump in the road before they even begin their quest to retain their title against my beloved Baltimore Ravens. We've got a couple of X factors in this game. how is Derrick Henry going to adapt to the Ravens offense? How much are they going to use him? Is he going to stay fit throughout the season? Which, to me, that is heart attack inducing just to think about. The amount of subtractions that we've lost over the preseason as well. The holes haven't been quite filled. I mean, the Ravens are 9-1 to win the Super Bowl. I think that's tremendously short odds. I don't think we're anywhere near it yet. But then, as we always say on the show, and we do, Patrick Mahomes finds a way. Always does against everyone. You can never count him out. And I would love to see him try that behind the back trick play pass thing against Roquan Smith and he gets put on his arse. I would love that. But that's the thing, Steve. It's not a small game to open the season up. It's a clash of AFC heavyweights, right? Last year was the Lions and the Chiefs opening night, and we all know how that finished. So yeah, if we can get a repeat tonight of the Chiefs losing, that would be lovely. But we shall see. We shall find out at 4 a.m. UK time as to who won the battle.
Shane, I've got a very serious question for you. Who's your RB1 there? Is it Lamar or Derrick Henry?
I'm more concerned about who's been RB2. Because if Henry's finished, we're finished.
I mean, also, they couldn't have picked much of a better game to kick off the season than this one, to be fair.
It's huge, yeah.
It is a massive game. Apart, are you guys got Kansas this year? I can't remember.
Yes,
I think so. From where I remember,
week 7 at Levi's, I believe.
That could have been a hell of a game, but obviously, if it's a Levi's, it's a bit of an issue. I mean, I do worry for your defense because, like you said, you haven't really filled in all the holes that I was missing, and Mahomes and Andy Reid, Kelsey know where the holes are and know how to find them. That's where my worry would be if I was your guys. That's my thinking. What do you reckon, gentlemen?
My worry is for their defense, but I also think Kansas City's defense is vulnerable.
Well, yeah, I suppose without Willie Snead, yeah. I think now he's moved on. That is.
You mean L'Jarius Snead?
L'Jarius Snead.
Willie Snead played for us. He was a wideout.
Yeah,
he played for us too.
Yeah,
he was on a practice squad last year, I think. Yeah, I think without Snead, they still have McDuffie, they still have Nick Bolton, they still have Chris Jones, but I don't think they have much else.
Mr. Perrins, before you give us your answer, were you holding a golden quill from Harry Potter?
Yeah.
I thought you were.
Just stop this nonsense. You're an adult. Grow up.
Yeah, we also watch Professional Wrestling Chain. So.
Oh yeah. I'll shut my mouth.
Yeah, sorry. Even with all their defensive talent, you can still get at the Chiefs' defense. Like you can. They're very historically known to being slow starters to the season. In fact, their opening day in recent times, kind of like victories in the Super Bowl era, is I think I saw earlier, like it's 13 wins to 11 losses on opening day fixtures in recent times, or this century, I should say. So they are very historically slow starters. It's when they build up that momentum. That's why I think the Chiefs won't be as strong this year, because I don't necessarily think they'll be the number 1 seed, because their division is very difficult. Like, you're going to have teams that have gotten better. They're going to be playing a schedule that they are playing teams that are getting stronger and will be stronger. And I think if you get to Patrick Mahomes, you nullify them. And I'm not going to sound like an absolute charlatan here or just an absolute monster, but Patrick Mahomes has been in the league now for quite some time, and he's a very, very rare specimen of quarterback that hasn't had a very serious injury happen to him yet. All the greats,
his knee.
Yeah, but that's not that bad in the grand scheme of things. Like Brady has missed over a season. Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, Big Ben, Brock Purdy, Montana, Young. Like it goes on and on and on.
Did you just put Brock Purdy in that category?
Of course he did.
Brock Purdy, a two-time appearance, and he's also an NFC champion, and he played in the Super Bowl last year. And
I know he's good, but you can't put him in the same category as Brett Favre. Tom
You didn't even
Brady.
say your hero, Drew Brees.
oh, Drew Brees! Oh my God, yeah, Drew Brees, Drew Bledsoe. Like they all had like John Elway. So without going like into Lamar, when Lamar was derailed, it completely destroyed the Ravens.
Did
Joe Burrow last year.
Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah, okay. Jimmy Garoppolo. Let's use that as an example as well. So when things like that happen, it can really derail. And I don't want to sound like I really want this to happen, but he's kind of overdue.
Okay.
And I just think that we're on the horizon of the three-peat. I think a lot of teams should be doing everything that they can to stop that. And how do you stop the Chiefs from three-peating? You take out Patrick Mahomes.
Okay.
You take out Patrick Mahomes, the Chiefs become the Cleveland Browns. An excellent defense, but no offense.
You do know if there's an assassin in the stadium and he starts getting shot at, the prime suspect's going to be you, right?
Luckily, this podcast goes out tomorrow night. Oh, sorry, tomorrow morning after the game.
Right. Predictions, gentlemen. Obviously, Shayna, we all know you're going with Baltimore, unless you're
Got to do it.
Thank you for that, Don. I like that. I like that comment about the Golden Quinn and the 49ers winning the Super Bowl.
Baby Hope, who are you going for in this one, my friend?
Chiefs by 10+.
You're a dick.
Wow. Mr. P.
Ravens, 2 scores.
It's my boy.
It's going to be a high-scoring event, but it's going to be KC.
Oh, come on, man.
Sorry, mate. It is. Right. Let's roll on to the Friday night game, which is in Sao Paulo. First ever team over there, or first ever game over there. Both teams are in yellow and green and bits of yellow in there. This is going to be an interesting game. We saw when they started over in Germany, and when they started over here, it's very much a party atmosphere. The first dozen or so games, the atmosphere is going. Obviously, security is ridiculously high at the moment over there.
Yeah. Well, just quickly, John has said Chiefs 27, Ravens 45.
Oh, that'd be nice. That'd be nice. Show them right up.
Who might done? Good. I think Noah might be even watching this. Right. What are we expecting from this game, gentlemen?
A complete media blackout on Brazilian Twitter.
Which is true. I think I've seen a lot of power rankings and things like that, early power rankings for the seasons, and as I said, I've been doing my research on the shows, watching as much as football as I can to be as informed as I can for when I come on to entertain our viewers and listeners. But everyone's ranking the Eagles so high. I don't understand why. I mean, Jason Kelsey's gone. Fletcher Cox has gone. They've already brought in Saquon. Saquon, his injury record has been spotty at best. The Eagles were shit last year. Boys, what have they done to deserve this push into the limelight then? Am I missing something?
Yeah.
Or maybe go on.
They've changed the offensive coordinator and they've changed the defensive coordinator to better coordinators, in my opinion.
And they've picked up a lot of good defensive back free agents.
And Big Dom's back on the sideline.
Because that makes all the difference.
A game day something or other, isn't it? It's like,
they didn't lose much when he was on the sideline. He goes off the sideline. They barely won another game.
So who they brought in on defense then? Sorry, refresh my memory because I got to keep up with all these moves and shakes over the preseason, and I've probably forgotten some people.
Oh my God! Now you're asking questions. I can't remember off the top of my head.
As I said, I don't see it with the Eagles. I just don't. I think the Packers will beat them.
Well, I'm the other way around. I don't see this hype with the Packers. I think Jordan Love had a purple patch at the end of last season, and now they've given him way more money than he deserves.
That's insane.
And I don't think there's a good enough supporting cast around Jordan Love. So I think the Eagles are going to beat the Packers.
Was it running back these days now? Because Aaron Jones is gone. I think AJ Dillon's still there.
Yeah, but he's on IR for the entire season. It's Josh Jacobs who.
That's right.
Here's my thing on Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs had one good season. Ever. He had 2 good seasons.
Consistent 1,000-yard runner.
I don't think he's that good. I really don't think Josh Jacobs is that good a running back.
We will see Josh Jacobs now because they got a better. Like Green Bay got a good O line. Okay,
Yeah.
both teams have got good O lines. Both teams' secondaries are good. Both teams' pass rushing is good. Their linebackers are Philadelphia's wide receiver core is better than Green Bay's. Or no, let's rephrase that. Philadelphia's wide receiver
Skill
core are more
positions.
experienced than Green
And
Bay's.
better.
I tell you what, if we put Green Bay, let's say Green Bay's wide receivers were at the same age level as Philadelphia, I think we would be saying they're pretty much level. I do think these teams are
AJ
very,
Brown is
very
better
level.
than Christian Watson. Devontae Smith is better than Romeo Dobbs.
I don't know. It's difficult
Also,
to tell because
Dallas
of the
Goedert
age.
is-
Like Dobbs,
Dallas is-
Watson, and who the other guy have only been in the league 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
So I
Also-
wouldn't say.
Saquon's better than Josh Jacobs, and Dallas Goedert is better than Luke Musgrave.
A fit Saquon. What do you reckon, Mr. P? What are you saying?
It's a fit Saquon. It's week 1.
Yeah, I think
It's fit-
I
it's a fit
agree.
unknown
I
week one
don't.
too.
I think the Eagles and the Packers are kind of like media darlings because of like how they come across and how their offense comes across in the media. I mean, how even their head coaches come across as well. I think that's a lot of it in terms of. I mean, the whole buzz around the Dolphins was how weirdly nerdy McDaniels was like, and that was a whole buzz for like a whole year in Miami.
Yeah.
I think both. I think Jalen Hurts is better than Jordan Love, but I don't rate Jordan Love when his contract, and I think I said it on the show, when his contract payment came out, I was very surprised because I don't think he's worth it. He's
He is
not.
not.
Like you're paying him the same money like you would have paid prime Aaron Rodgers when Aaron Rodgers was MVP. Jordan Love had a good purple patch, like Baby said, but he's not MVP. And even at their best, Jalen Hurts is better than Jordan Love. I think the
Jalen Hurts.
Eagles win this one, but if I'm being honest, it's two teams that I don't particularly like. So, best case scenario, the stadium collapses and the game is abandoned.
I hope
Oh
No
my
one
God,
dies.
he's on. You can tell this is after dark. Carter, he's on one tonight. He hits everyone.
It's a bloody nice stadium. That Corinthians Stadium's a really nice stadium. I remember it in the World Cup. Right. Just to confirm, Mr. P, you are going for?
I'm going to go with Eagles by 3.
Okay. Baby?
Eagles by at least a touchdown.
Yeah.
Shano?
I'm going Packers by a touchdown, I think.
Okay. I am going to side with Mr. Harris.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, I'm going to go for Packers. I don't know what it is. I mean, we saw there was issues with Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni last year. Has that been fixed? Are they buddies again? We don't know. It's week 1. Not many of the starters have played at all the last month. Okay, they've done a lot of training camp. Things are different in real life game action. Who knows? Anything can happen.
I think Nick Sirianni's coaching for his job too.
Yes.
Right. Game 3. It is the number 1 pick against the Mayo-loving quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
It is Caleb Williams against Will Levis. Bears against Titans. What are we thinking, gentlemen?
Bears are going to
just to
stamp the
confirm.
Titans into non-existence.
Good boy, well done. Just to confirm, this is the first week of our Pick'ems league thing, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Good. Just to confirm that, because I may have a championship belt for the winner, which is given to me by a good friend of mine.
Holy crap, I want to win this now.
you give me the belt, you knob. You're going to catch it.
Oh, it was me! It was me! I'm going to throw the league. I don't want it back.
I got a funny story for you about that as well.
Just to annoy you two, I'm gonna have it sat there above my head. Just to
Gotta win it first.
see it every week.
Gotta win it first. Just win it. Gotta win it first.
Hey,
Sorry, but as you were saying.
Yeah. What are we saying for Titans against the Bears?
Bears are going to win easy.
Yeah, I think it's going to be very
I
one-sided.
think so. I think we're all on the same.
I just like to clarify. The Titans have got better, and I do accept that. L'Jarius Sneed, Calvin Ridley, think they've got another wide receiver too, whose name is escaping me.
Little John Humphrey.
No, they have.
Is that your thing?
They have somebody else too. Well, I remember thinking of DeAndre.
No,
They've also got Tony Pollard, who's a good running back. But I think the Bears are going to do well this season, and I think the Bears are just a better team. So I'm saying the Bears by 10.
Before we go on, spoiler alert if you've not watched Hard Knocks episode 4. So I love the fact that the running back Williams went down with an ACL. Going on IR.
I love that he said, "I love that," and I was the
I
one that
love
got
it so much,
chafed.
dude. I love it.
I got chafed
as bad as you.
for saying about Patrick Mahomes potentially getting injury. Like, oh, I loved it when he went down with an injury and ACL.
Right. Okay.
I don't even hit
What
that
I mean
team.
is, I love the fact that the Bears gone, right, okay, you're on IR. We're not going to cut you. You're going to go on IR. He's going to get paid for the year now. I love the
That's
fact
good.
this.
It's really good.
Yeah, well,
Unlike Miami Dolphins, who cut 2 of their players who are on IR.
Wait, spoiler alert for episode 5 of the Bears Hard Knocks.
He gets cut.
No, but he does go home to Houston to go have surgery, and then he said, "I'll come back once I'm ready to do rehab."
Yeah, I do like the guy. I think what they did is brilliant. I said to my other half when I was watching it this week, I really like Ryan Pauls. He's come across really good in this series.
Yeah, I like Ryan Pauls.
Right,
He's coming across a lot better than Joe Shane did on the Giants one.
yeah, completely. Mr. Perrins, what is your opinion on the Bears Titans, my friend?
I mean, I don't think I saw a poorer team play in the NFL last year than when we saw the Titans in person.
Oh my god, yeah,
Like,
we were
It was
literally
amazing.
recording that
It was
place.
amazing.
yeah, I was gonna say like
It's
that's
amazing.
one of my definitive memories from last year. Literally, me
Best day
and
of my
you
life.
sitting in the audience or sitting in the crowd, sorry, and like we're literally calling the plays. We're literally calling the plays as they're about to happen, and it was just magical. I wish people were listening to us. Because,
Maybe
Ollie,
that's something we could do this year.
Whenever Phil brings that up, it makes me think of the time when me and you went to that Jets game and we're like, "That guy's open, that guy's open, that guy's open. Oh, he's thrown into triple coverage." Zach
It may
Wilson.
be something we could do this year because, especially for the Wembley game, whereas we are our 250th episode around about then. But
Oh my
it's-
god,
It's
that's
a Patreon. It's a Patreon exclusive.
Oh yes. Right.
What about that?
Yes. Titans Bears, Bill.
I'm gonna go Bears. I think the Titans will give it a go, but I think the Titans by 1 score. Sorry, the Bears by 1 score. They're in
Wow.
a huge they're in a huge rebuilding phase. They've lost Derrick Henry. They're kind of in limbo with what they wanted to do with their defense. Their offense is going to take a couple of more draft years and free agencies to kind of make it look, compatible. So yeah, I'm just going to go with the Bears. They're just more ready to go, in my opinion.
I'm going to have to agree with you guys. I've obviously watched Bears Hard Knocks, this season. Watched a few more of their preseason games. The one thing that's impressed me about them, if Caleb does go down, Tyson Badgett looks like he's good enough to step up and go, I'll tell you what, I could take this offense 2 or 3 games if he's out for that. If he's out for the season, who knows? But they've got a good couple of quarterbacks in there. Caleb Williams looks exciting to watch. I really do like him. Really do like Roma Dundee as well. If he can stay in the end zone when he catches the ball, that's an extra help as well. But yeah, I am going for a Chicago win.
I've got a question about Chicago, just quickly before we move on.
Fire.
Who is their WR1? Is it Rowe?
Chicago.
Is it Keenan Allen? Is it DJ Moore?
It's A, 1, B, and C.
When it was open at the time.
Well, no, it's A1, A, B. No, A, 1A, 1B, 1.5B.
I will tell you
don't
one
think
thing
this
about
is
someone who
sensible
catches a
anymore.
ball for Chicago. Their tight end, Mercedes Lewis, it's his 16th season in the NFL. When he was drafted, Caleb Williams was 4 years old.
Yeah, but
That's bonkers.
Yeah, but I know you're a big fan of their tight end one, Shane, as am I.
Oh, Coconut. That's
Komet.
awesome.
Cole Kmet, I've drafted him a couple of times as well.
I wanted him this week, but I think I took Likely instead. Yeah, so my pick for this game, I think the Bears are going to stop a mud hole in Tennessee and walk it dry, and that will probably be on another Netflix documentary. Speaking of Netflix documentaries, there's a cracker coming up in September, but we're not allowed to say anything yet. We're not in it, but I'm sure me and Phil will elaborate, at a later date.
Right.
Yes.
Yep. So the final game of our prediction series week is Golf Bowl. Lions against the Rams on Sunday.
Oh,
night.
you got me really excited. I thought we were literally going to get the eyeliner out. I've already got the nail polish on. I literally thought we're going to go full on. We're going to start blarting out the Depeche Mode and Joy Division, and no, we're talking about Jared Goff and not
Jared Goff.
Yes,
not the
mate.
Brandon Lee type.
No, mate. I do apologise, but
I got really excited then.
So, what are we talking about? Obviously, they played a couple of times over the last couple of years. The big one, obviously, is the divisional game that took place in Detroit in January. Wow, where Detroit rolled out victorious in that game. How are we thinking this is going to roll?
Shall I go first?
Yeah, go
So, yes, somebody answer, please.
So, I think the Rams have improved this offseason.
Yeah.
I think they will have closed the gap to San Francisco.
Yeah.
However, I'm taking Detroit by 3.
Yeah, I mean, I am going to agree. Let's put it this way. The Dan Campbell-led Detroit Lions are rolling into the Super Bowl this year.
Oh, Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah. Sorry, you 49er boys. I am so sorry.
You don't sound it.
No, I'm not. I'm really not. They've improved again. They've given, obviously Goff and Armand some tiny little contracts. Laporta's tiny big contracts. Sam Laporta is a top-class tight end. Jahmyr Gibbs is a really good running back. Their defense has improved again this year with a couple of good free agent signings and improvements on the through the draft. But Rams have got better as well, and I do agree they are going to run you a lot closer in the West. But I think in Detroit, they're going to want to run it back, and it's going to start with this game. So I think it's going to be. I'm going to go for the Lions win as well. Parents or Harris?
I'll go next.
Go for it, Brett.
I think the Lions are just infinitely the better team. You're talking about a coming towards the end of his career, Matt Stafford, who is broken down. I cannot stress how bad he looked last year. He was so bad. And then their backup is a quarterback that stopped playing 3 years ago. So it's kind of like a weird flux in LA in terms of the Rams, because they've got all these young up and coming players, but they're still relying on a playbook that needs a Matt Stafford on all cylinders. And I don't think their offensive line is going to be as good as it wasn't good at all. I don't think it's improved at all during the offseason. They're always going to have a good defense, but if you can't protect your Matt Stafford, and you sure as hell aren't going to be protecting Jimmy Garoppolo, I mean, you're not gonna progress. And I just think with that mean defense that Detroit have really sculpted over the last couple of years, they're literally going to eat. The Lions are going to be eaten alive.
And no Aaron Donald.
No Donald, yeah.
Very true. Very, very true. Mr. Harris, finally over to you.
We haven't mentioned 3 key players for the Rams at all: Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua, and Kyron Williams. We don't know what impact they're going to make against the Lions. But yeah, in all honesty, they're the only X factors that the Rams have. If they have a good game, or at least a quiet game, the Lions will eat them alive. Yeah, I got to be Detroit by about 10, I expect.
The Rams have recently had a very sneaky way of finding wide receivers, and they did it with Puka Nacua. They picked up in the 5th round. They picked up a very good wide receiver called Jordan Whittaker in the 6th. He is Puka Nacua 2.0. He is ridiculously good. So, they have got weapons there for Matt Stafford. Like you said, they just need to protect him. Their starting left tackle suspended. They've got 2 left tackles on IR. Their right tackle is questionable.
Their backup quarterback's also suspended.
No, Stetson Bennett.
Eat a stick. Eat a stick.
Stetson Bennett's backup.
Wrong LA, mate.
Oh, wrong anyway. So I knew I wasn't sure. So in LA, I was like, Eastern stick.
Right, we are bringing back Shano specials. This is where
Yes!
Shano are his top 3 or 4 bets of the weekend. Shano, over to you, my friend.
Thank you very much. Yeah. So, as always, please gamble responsibly. My previous experience in the bookmakers. So, yeah, I like to think I'm a bit of an authority on this subject. So the first one I'll start with is an overall bet for the season. For the Ravens, Texans, Bills, and Chiefs to win their respective divisions with Sky Bet is 16-1. I think that's basically printing money. That's ridiculous. I mean, the only one that might be a bit sketchy is the Bills, but I still think Josh Allen can get it done when it matters.
And the Ravens.
I was thinking about this. I was thinking about this week.
Joe Burrow that might have something to say about that.
Yeah, him and anybody else in his team that's a game changer or anybody really good like?
Jamar Chase?
Okay, after that. Nothing there at all. Nothing there at all. I was thinking about this in the week. I was thinking, I'm going to just Ravens ain't going to win the division now, even though everyone's telling me they are. It's about time I started to believe it. We've still got superstars in every position, or at least game winners and game changers. So yeah, that's my first bet, 16-1. Like I said, at the moment it was 15. It's now gone up to 16s. Ollie, I did mention to you earlier on in the group chat what the bets were. Do you want to sort of tell everybody what they are, and I can sort of elaborate on them then?
While I'm finding that, we have some breaking news.
Oh yeah.
It is to do with the Kansas City Chiefs and a tight end.
Oh.
Not that tight end.
He's pregnant. I knew it.
Noah Gray, the backup tight end, the second tight end too, whatever you want to call him. He has signed a new 3-year deal worth $18 million. I'm just trying to find your bet, so I'm just going to make sure I put it in the right
18 or 80?
18-1-8.
Good.
Guaranteed 10 million.
Good.
Well, I really like Noah Gray, but he's not an 80 million player.
Yeah, he's right. Your other one is for both teams to score 2 touchdowns and 2 field goals each. In tonight's game, Baltimore versus KC at 7-2.
Just look at the offensive power you've got on display. Look at the star players on the offensive sides of the ball. Even the defenses could potentially keep those players quiet, and then they kick field goals. 7-2 again. That's great odds for that.
Does anyone have a house and bucket joke in there? Can anyone come up with one?
I want to, but I'm afraid of getting cancelled.
No, we're not going down that road. And the other one is for Caleb Williams to win Rookie of the Year at 13-8.
That's unbelievable.
Money.
Yeah, of course it is. 100% printing money. As I said, as we previously mentioned, they've got the Titans' first game. He's got a easy-ish game to basically ease him into the league, and so everybody can see what he's about. 13-8. It'll be exactly how CJ Stroud was last year. And I'm telling you now, as Baby said, that is printing money. But as I said again, please gamble responsibly. Just have a little look, see what's about. But that's my Shano specials over the first week of the season.
Very sexy. Thank you for that, Shane.
Thank you. No worries, but anytime.
Oh, we are 3 hours away from football. 3 hours.
Woohoo!
Shano, are you crying a tear like you did earlier on?
You lot, right? Stop telling people my secrets. No, this is God's honest. I'm not shy. I've been a fan of this team for 22 years. As I keep telling you every time we speak, the best day of my life was last year, and you were all there to witness it. I was watching the Ravens hype video for this coming season, and yeah, I shed a tear, and I took a picture, and I put it in the group chat. Because I showed how much this team means to me. It's not just hyperbole, just, look at that dickhead over there, likes American sports. I don't know what he's on about. No, this team, I bleed purple and black. I genuinely do.
Fair enough.
Just quickly before we go, I'm not sure if you guys remember, but in April, I made a bet with Shane and I made a bet with Phil that Gardner Minshew would not start week 1. It's looking like I will lose this bet, so I will owe you both £5.
Thank you, madam. Well, you know what? What costs £5? Pint of both, thank you very much. Funny we should mention Strongbow as well. I went on Baldy and the Big Fella show this week. They actually were opening cans in front of me. Did they tell you about that? That was brilliant. They were opening cans of Bow in front of me, and I was like, boys, fair play.
They didn't tell me, but I have listened to the episode, so I heard it.
Oh, thank you, man.
Yeah.
The pint cans as well, my favourite.
Mine comes out tomorrow as well.
I am.
I know it does.
I am generally looking forward to that one.
I'm sharing it everywhere. That's going to be fun.
We know what you are like, Mr. Perrins, and we've all been on their show. We know what they're like as well. I tell you what, if you're fans of this podcast, go and listen to their podcast. They are two great guys. You think we take the mick out of each other? They're even worse.
I know.
They are brilliant. I absolutely love listening to their show.
They got better production values too.
I know, right? Tell me about it. You can tell the big fellas in radio, can't you?
Oh, yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been your last show without football. So when we are back on Monday night show, we'll be actually talking about actual football that's actually happened over the actual weekend. I don't know how many more actors I can actually get into that. So, ladies and gentlemen, as always, thank you very much for tuning in, listening, watching, however you take us into your ears. We are back on Monday night.
What's he chuckling about?
However we come into your ears. What the fuck? What is that all about? Am I the only one that picked up on it?
Yeah. I should be the mature adult I was.
I was too busy watching Shane point at his hat as if
That's right.
As if he's not going to be crying at 4 a.m. this morning.
It's going to be crying.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Sorry.
Until next time. Good night and stay safe.
Go Raven.